seems to be easily influenced by others, struggles to make decisions, and quickly shifts their opinions? Or do you feel confused or overwhelmed by life's challenges and find yourself constantly questioning your choices? If so, then keep watching. In this video, I'll be discussing the signs of weak-mindedness so that you can learn to identify it and overcome it. And while sometimes it can be somewhat challenging to recognize this trait in yourself or in someone you know, here are a few key signs to look out for. Number 1. Giving in to pressure quickly. Someone who's quick to give in to pressure is not a thinker. They just look for an easy way out. They often lack the self-confidence and strength of character to stand up for themselves and maintain their sense of self-worth. Instead, they try to please others by saying or doing things that they don't want to do. And since they're so easily swayed by others, this makes them easy targets for manipulation, which can lead to a feeling of helplessness and being taken advantage of. Number 2. Obsessing over problems. While it's easy to get caught up in day-to-day worries and concerns, obsessing over problems is certainly not a sign of strength. A strong-minded person sees a problem and they try to fix it. A weak-minded person focuses on the problem and can't see past it. They become so fixated on the issue that they can't think of anything else and they lose sight of the bigger picture. Unfortunately, this narrow focus prevents them from being able to think critically and objectively, and often leads to making poor decisions. Number 3. Apologizing for everything. Apologies can be a great way to show that you are sorry for something you may have done wrong. But apologizing for everything is a sign of weakness, as it indicates a lack of self-confidence. When someone apologizes for everything, it's because they feel insecure and uncertain, and lack the courage to stand up for themselves or their beliefs. Apologizing for things that don't require an apology can also be seen as an attempt to gain approval. This behavior can be damaging to relationships, as others may not take you seriously or respect your opinions. Number 4. Finding it hard to commit to a goal. Setting and achieving goals requires willpower and determination to stay focused and committed to what you are trying to accomplish. But for some, this can be extremely difficult. When someone's constantly struggling to commit to a goal, it can be a sign that they have a weak-minded approach. They tend to lack determination and may be too afraid of the hard work that comes with achieving a goal. As a result, they often give up before they even start and just settle for mediocrity. Number 5. Seeking frequent external validation. We all want to feel appreciated, valued, and respected by others. But when the need for external validation becomes a frequent occurrence, it can be a sign of weakness. When someone is overly concerned with the opinions of others and relies too heavily on external validation, it usually means that they are unable to make decisions for themselves or take responsibility for their own actions. This can prevent personal growth and hinder the ability to take risks or step outside of their comfort zone. Number 6. Always being the victim. You know that person who always seems to be complaining? The one who can't wait to tell you about their challenges, but they never have any solutions? They're always murmuring about how they just don't get it, and how everything is so unfair. Those who tend to always view themselves as victims of their circumstances can quickly become overwhelmed and unable to take the necessary steps to create a better outcome. This can cause a general feeling of helplessness and a sense of powerlessness over their life. Number 7. Being consumed by envy. Envy is a feeling of discontentment and bitterness toward another person because they have something you don't. It is an emotion that can be difficult to control, and if left unchecked, can consume your thoughts and actions. In fact, a person may become so focused on what someone else has that they become blind to their own potential and ability to achieve similar results. Ultimately, being consumed by envy is a sign of weakness, as it can lead to destructive behaviors, discourage personal growth, and hinder one's own potential. Number 8. Holding on to resentment. It's natural to feel hurt and pain when someone has wronged us, but it's not healthy to hold on to that resentment and let it fester, as it can have negative consequences. When someone holds on to resentment, they are not allowing themselves the opportunity to grow and heal. Not only is this emotionally damaging, but it can also have physical health consequences. Studies have linked resentment to physical ailments such as high blood pressure, headaches, and even an increased risk of coronary heart disease. And it's also important to remember that holding on to resentment can damage relationships. If someone is constantly bitter and unwilling to forgive, it can be difficult for them to form and maintain meaningful relationships. This can cause feelings of isolation and loneliness, which can further worsen emotional pain. Number 9. Always being defensive. When someone is always defensive, it's an indication that they are weak-minded. First of all, such individuals tend to be overly sensitive to criticism. They may become agitated or angry when someone offers them constructive feedback rather than taking it in stride. This shows that they are more concerned with protecting their ego than with genuine